The relationship between Christians and the mainstream media has long been a contentious one, with many believers questioning the motivations and biases of major news outlets. This skepticism is not unfounded, as numerous examples have demonstrated a clear disconnect between the values and principles of Christianity and the priorities of the mainstream media. One of the primary concerns for Christians is the media's tendency to portray their faith in a negative or stereotypical light, often relying on sensationalism and emotional appeals rather than balanced and accurate reporting. A significant factor contributing to this distrust is the media's apparent hostility towards traditional Christian values. On issues such as abortion, same-sex marriage, and religious freedom, the mainstream media often presents a uniformly liberal perspective, with little attention given to the perspectives and concerns of Christians who hold more conservative views. This lack of diversity in viewpoints can create a distorted narrative, where Christians are portrayed as intolerant, bigoted, or out of touch with modern society. By selectively amplifying certain voices and suppressing others, the media can shape public opinion and influence cultural attitudes in ways that are detrimental to Christian values and principles. Another reason for Christian skepticism towards the mainstream media is the prevalence of bias and agenda-driven reporting. Many prominent news organizations have been caught promoting false or misleading information, often with the intention of advancing a particular ideological or political agenda. For example, the media's handling of high-profile cases involving Christian businesses or individuals, such as the infamous cake shop controversy, has frequently been marked by a lack of objectivity and a readiness to assume the worst about people of faith. This kind of biased reporting can have serious consequences, as it not only damages the reputation of individual Christians but also contributes to a broader climate of distrust and hostility towards the faith as a whole. The influence of secularism and anti-Christian worldviews within the media also plays a significant role in eroding trust between Christians and the mainstream media. Many journalists and media personalities openly identify as atheists, agnostics, or adherents of other faiths, and their perspectives often shape the way they report on Christian issues and events. While it is understandable that journalists may hold personal beliefs and opinions, the problem arises when these perspectives are allowed to color their reporting and shape the narrative in ways that are unfair or misleading. For instance, the media's frequent characterization of Christian conservatism as extreme or radical reflects a clear cultural and ideological bias, one that is not typically applied to other faith traditions or political ideologies. Furthermore, the mainstream media's fascination with controversy and scandal can lead to a disproportionate focus on negative stories involving Christians, while ignoring or downplaying the countless positive contributions and achievements of people of faith. This selective reporting creates a skewed public perception, where Christians are seen as being primarily associated with conflict, intolerance, and social divisiveness. By contrast, the many examples of Christian charity, compassion, and community service are often overlooked or relegated to the margins of media attention. This lack of balance and fairness in reporting can have a corrosive effect on public trust, as Christians begin to feel that the media is more interested in perpetuating negative stereotypes than in providing accurate and nuanced coverage of their faith. In conclusion, the motivations of the mainstream media are often at odds with the values and principles of Christianity, leading many believers to question the trustworthiness of major news outlets. The media's hostility towards traditional Christian values, prevalence of bias and agenda-driven reporting, influence of secularism and anti-Christian worldviews, and fascination with controversy and scandal all contribute to a climate of distrust and skepticism. As a result, Christians must be discerning and critical in their consumption of media, seeking out alternative sources of information and supporting outlets that prioritize fairness, balance, and accuracy in their reporting. By doing so, they can help to promote a more nuanced and informed public understanding of the faith and work towards a more constructive and respectful dialogue between Christians and the mainstream media.